When I realized I didn't like girls, the first thing I did was tell my dad. I thought he would fly into a rage and beat me, but the result was the exact opposite. His eyes lit up. "Son," he said, "I'm giving you a very important mission. I just heard that the son of our rival company's boss is incredibly annoying. Go pursue him, bother him, and make him lose focus so he can't compete with us for that piece of land. If you succeed, I'll buy you that brand new supercar you've been wanting." Hearing this, I immediately puffed out my chest and said solemnly, "Dad, a car is a small matter. This is a son's responsibility." "Don't worry, Dad." After my dad had made all the arrangements, I went to the rival company early that morning. I asked for the young master's office and decided to check out the situation first. Walking in, I found the office quite tidy. On the desk was a picture, probably of the young master. I turned the frame to get a better look. He's not 1/10,000th as handsome as me, but he's not bad. But why did he look so familiar? Oh well, I'll stop thinking about it. It was almost 8 a.m., so I went to make coffee for the young master to make a good impression. I walked out with the cup. When I came back, someone was already sitting behind the desk. I knocked and a voice said, "Come in." I walked in, placed the coffee on the desk, and introduced myself. "Hello, young master. My name is Alex, and I'm your new assistant. I arrived a bit early, so I made you a cup of coffee." I secretly praised myself. I was so good with words. I not only showed that I came early, but also that I was proactive. I was so amazing. The young master looked up at me. "I don't drink coffee in the morning." "Oh, add my personal WeChat. I'll send you daily tasks directly from now on." He pushed his phone towards me, and I quickly took out mine and added him. "Okay, young master. Oh, I have a question for you." He nodded, signaling me to continue. "What I mean is, if I make a mistake outside of work, will you fire me? As long as it's not a work-related mistake or a matter of principle, I won't fire anyone on a whim." I took a deep breath, preparing to deliver my final blow. "Young master, actually." "What is it?" "Actually, from the first moment I met you, I liked you, which is why I tried so hard to get a job at this company. Every frown and every smile of yours makes my heart flutter. Every time I see you, my heart beats so fast. I'm sure this is love. I can't suppress this feeling anymore. I like you, please give me a chance." I gushed out my feelings in one breath. When I finished, I looked him straight in the eyes with sincerity. He was stunned for a moment, as if my words had shocked him. "I understand. You can go now." It seemed he had no special reaction. Didn't they say he was very annoying? Why did I feel like he was even smiling a little? I scratched my head, thinking as I walked out. The mission begins. Once I was certain the young master wouldn't fire me, I started bothering him constantly. "Young master, I bought a box today. Guess what it is?" "What?" He was focused on a document on his phone, but still patiently answered me. "Our destined to be a couple box." So cheesy. Why didn't he seem annoyed? Could my dad's information have been wrong? Just as I was racking my brain for a way to annoy him, he tapped the table. "There's a party tonight. You're coming with me." "Why?" "Everyone brings their girlfriends." "Why are you bringing your assistant?" I blurted out. "To drive." He looked up at me. I nodded helplessly. A little assistant like me had to take on so many roles. That evening, I was a dedicated driver. As we were about to arrive, the young master suddenly asked me, "How's your alcohol tolerance?" My alcohol tolerance? I can handle 1,000 cups. I remember drinking with a dozen people before, and they all passed out while my face didn't even turn red, I bragged. In the dark, I thought I heard him chuckle. "Is that so? I hope you can still say that later." "Huh? I didn't hear you clearly." "Nothing. Just help me block some drinks later." An assistant has to block drinks too? We arrived, and I parked the car and followed him inside. I usually found these kinds of events with my dad quite boring. While the young master was talking business, I secretly ordered a glass of wine and hid in a corner. Suddenly, I saw a familiar figure. I quietly followed him into the bathroom. Once inside, I slapped him hard on the shoulder. "Dad, why are you here?" My dad jumped, clutching his chest. "Oh my goodness, I interrupted him. "Oh, come on, Dad, I know you're healthier than I am." He chuckled and then asked seriously, "Son, how's the mission I gave you going?" "Dad, I don't think Daniel is annoyed at all. I'm flirting with him, and he doesn't react. He even seems happy." "Are you sure your information is correct?" My dad's eyes darted away. No, that's impossible. Your dad is never wrong. You must not be trying hard enough." He said this and then mysteriously took something out of his jacket pocket. "Listen to your dad. This time, be more forceful. I guarantee it'll work." "What is this?" Dad leaned in and whispered a few words in my ear, and I was shocked. "How can I do this?" My mouth was full of righteous refusal, but my hands were already taking the object. "I'm not that kind of person." Before he left, he patted my shoulder and emphasized, "The newest supercar." He left. I casually stuffed the item into my pocket. My phone beeped. I opened it and saw a message from the young master. "Where are you? Come here and block drinks." I washed my hands and left the bathroom to find him. When I arrived, a businessman was standing in front of the young master with his daughter. The girl's face was a little red, and she shyly offered a glass of wine. The young master's face was also a little red, and he seemed to have had a lot to drink. He looked like he couldn't refuse and took the glass. As he took a sip, I quickly snatched it and drank it all in one gulp. I drank so fast that a drop of wine ran down the corner of my mouth, along my collarbone, and continued to slide down. The cold sensation made me frown. I didn't notice the deep gaze of the person next to me. The businessman, seeing this, didn't say anything more. He just exchanged a few polite words and left with his daughter. Before she left, the girl gave me several angry glares. Seeing that the young master seemed drunk, I asked him if he wanted to leave. He nodded. I helped him leave the party, completely unaware of the momentary flash of light in his eyes. The unexpected turn. Outside the venue, the wind was cold, but for some reason, I felt hotter and hotter. My head started to get dizzy. I tried to walk to the car, but suddenly remembered that we had both been drinking. The young master took the car keys from my hand. "Leave the car here. I'll have someone drive it back. I have an apartment nearby. You can take me there." I opened the map on my phone and walked, unbuttoning my shirt. It's so hot. My head is so foggy. Suddenly, a hand rested on my waist. The hand followed the buttons I was unbuttoning, fastening them back up one by one. I was a little annoyed and tried to break free, but before I could react, someone lifted me up. A low voice rang in my ear. "Didn't you say you could handle 1,000 cups?" I struggled to open my eyes. It was the young master. Wasn't he drunk? And how could a cold person like him carry me? I looked closely. It really was him. His forehead was covered in a light sweat, and his body was also a little hot. That's right, he also took a sip of that wine. Although my consciousness was fuzzy, I understood that I had been drugged. Looking at the young master's face so close to me, I was momentarily unsure if it was for the mission or for some other reason. I lifted my chin slightly, and my wet lips unconsciously touched the hollow of his throat. I frowned in thought for a moment, then reached out my tongue and lightly licked it. I felt his whole body tremble slightly, and then he strode faster towards the elevator. I felt something rubbing against the corner of my mouth, and it felt very pleasant. I tilted my head to respond. The elevator door opened, and as soon as we entered the unlit apartment, a frantic kiss immediately fell upon me. He kissed me nonstop, not giving me a chance to breathe. When I wasn't on guard, he pried my teeth apart, and his tongue explored, lightly touching the roof of my mouth. It tickles. Then he found my tongue, and the kiss lasted so long that I couldn't close my mouth, but the heat in my body still hadn't subsided. I anxiously grabbed his clothes, wanting to respond. He suddenly stopped, his eyes looking at me with a deep gaze. Not understanding what was happening, I looked up, wanting to continue the kiss. He immediately carried me into the bedroom, placed me on the bed, and leaned over me. "Alex," he called my name. "Didn't you say you liked me?" I nodded groggily. "Then now that I'm in a difficult situation, and only you can help me, shouldn't you be dedicated?" "Of course, don't worry." I stammered. "Good." He smiled, and I cried. It wasn't until midnight that he showed no signs of stopping. I tried to crawl forward, trying to escape him, but he pulled me back. Hearing my choked voice, he grabbed my chin and continued to kiss me, the salty taste of tears spreading. When I couldn't bear it anymore, I bit his collarbone hard. I don't remember what happened after that. When I woke up, it was already morning. I moved slightly, my whole body aching as if my bones were about to fall apart. I pulled down the blanket and saw that my body was covered in bruises of all sizes. I despairingly closed my eyes, but what happened last night was still clear in my mind. Suddenly, I thought of my mission. The young master must be furious and disgusted by now, right? Thinking this, I opened my eyes again. He was standing by the bed, holding something in his hand. My eyes widened. Isn't this the thing my dad gave me last night? I turned my head and met his half-smiling eyes. I'm in danger. I immediately opened my mouth and denied everything. It's not mine. He raised an eyebrow. I quickly corrected myself. No. What I mean is, it's mine, but I really didn't put anything in the wine. I know. You know, and you still. Okay then. He really didn't question me. It's best if I keep quiet. He walked over and sat on the edge of the bed, one hand propped up, looking at me intently. But what happened has happened. Whether it was an accident or not, you have to be responsible for me. I haven't even made you responsible for me yet, I muttered under my breath, unconvinced. He ignored me and continued. So the best solution is to marry me. The words were like a bolt of lightning from a clear sky. I was stunned. What did you say? Marry me. He patiently repeated. Didn't you say you love me to death? We're getting married. Aren't you happy? Happy my ass. He stood up and straightened his suit. That's good then. I'll give you a day off. Rest today and think it over carefully. Remember to come to the company tomorrow. Before he left, he skillfully kissed the corner of my mouth. Seeing me stunned, he ruffled my hair and left the room. The truth revealed. After he left, I frantically searched for my phone on the nightstand. After turning it on, I messaged my dad for help. Oh, my biological dad, save me, save me, save me immediately. That Daniel is not straight at all. Now he's even making me marry him. Marry him, Dad. I waited for a while and no one replied, so I called him directly. The phone rang for a long time before someone answered. The other end was very noisy, and I could vaguely hear a few sentences. It's done. We have a way. As I was about to speak, my dad cut me off. Son, I'm a little busy. I'll talk to you later. Click. The phone was hung up. I was dazed for a few seconds. No, something is completely wrong. I wrapped myself in the blanket and thought for a long time. But because I had slept so late last night, I dozed off again. When I opened my eyes again, it was already dark. I rummaged on the bed for my phone, planning to order food. Click. The door opened and a jolt ran down my spine. Oh no, I forgot this is the young master's house. Hearing the footsteps getting closer, I decided to cover myself completely with the blanket. Play dead. The footsteps stopped right next to the bed, but he didn't leave. His voice didn't sound surprised at all. You haven't left yet. It seems you can't bear to part with me. Or maybe we. I continued to pretend. He slowly reached his hand into the blanket. I jumped up, hugging the blanket and looking at him cautiously, but he gently pulled me back. Under my weak struggle, he slowly removed the blanket. Finally, he carried me, a person who was completely exhausted, into the bathroom and meticulously cleaned me. Then he carried me, who was half asleep, to the dining table. He put on an apron, held a fish from the kitchen, and poked his head out to ask me, "Do you like to eat fish?" "Yeah, what kind of fish do you like?" "I'll cook it for you." I was groggy and didn't think much, so I blurted out, "I love you to death, and I'll never change my mind." What? He didn't hear me clearly and asked again. I was startled. While pursuing him, I had gotten used to saying that. Luckily, he didn't hear me clearly. I quickly changed my words. Sweet and sour fish. I sipped the fish soup he had just scooped for me. I watched him carefully remove each fish bone for me. He suddenly asked, "What have you decided?" "What?" I asked, mumbling as I drank the soup. He looked up at me. Oh, I remember now. I put down the bowl and looked him straight in the eyes. "Daniel, I don't agree." Why? I sighed and slowly said, "Come on, Daniel, don't lie to me anymore. I know everything. I saw the family photo in your room. I remember now. I've met your dad. He was drinking with my dad just recently." I saw his eyes waver a little. "I don't understand. I really don't understand. Why did you guys lie to me? What did you say to my dad that made him agree to cooperate with you? Did you say you liked me?" Daniel, He moved his lips, but couldn't say anything. "You liked me, so you watched me pretend to confess to you, pursue you, and watch me cling to you." Saying this, I couldn't help but laugh. It's so contradictory, Daniel, don't you think? Why would you like someone and then make them constantly have to be the one to pursue you, and in the end, make them think that the little bit of affection you have for them is just a handout? Or do you not like me at all? Do you just like the feeling of being on a high pedestal, watching others grovel and pursue you, watching them being manipulated by you? Do you find that very interesting? That's not it. Oh. He eagerly wanted to explain something, but I no longer wanted to listen. While he was bowing his head in thought, I quickly took 2 big sips of the fish soup, wiped my mouth, and stood up. "Well, I'm leaving now. You don't have to see me out." I walked out of the room and into the elevator. As soon as the elevator door closed, I excitedly jumped twice. The result was that I hit a sore spot and winced all the way down. "This jerk, you usually act so high and mighty around me. Now it's your turn to reflect." As I stepped out onto the sidewalk, a car pulled up next to me. The window rolled down and I recognized it as Uncle Lee's car, Daniel's driver. "Mr. Alex, the young master told me to take you home. Where do you want to go?" He has a little conscience. It would be a waste not to go. I opened the passenger door and gently sat in. Uncle Lee was around the same age as my dad. As he drove, he earnestly advised me, "Mr. Alex, actually my young master really likes you. He's just not good at expressing himself. He doesn't think that way inside. Please don't be mad at him." Blah, blah, blah. Suddenly, I covered my face and started to sob. I'm so stupid. I thought that if you liked someone, you had to pursue them. But all I got was coldness, and in the end, I was told that the person really liked me. He never confessed, he never said he loved me, and he never gave me flowers. I'm not a mind reader. How was I supposed to know he liked me? Uncle Lee was at a loss for what to do. I covered my face and cried while smiling wryly. He made me a fool all day long. Now it's your turn, young master. Daniel sat on the sofa, reading the message he just received from Uncle Lee. Uncle Lee had even emphasized it. "Oh, you don't know." Mr. Alex cried so sadly in fits and starts. It made my heart ache just watching him. You should really learn how to pursue people. Go quickly and coax him back. After dealing with Daniel, Uncle Lee also drove me all the way home. When I reached the door, I gently pushed it open a crack. I saw my dad secretly on the phone. After confirming that the door wouldn't break, I kicked it open with my foot. My dad was startled, his whole body shaking. He slowly turned around and saw my face with a bright smile. He gave a forced laugh. "Ha ha ha, you're home, son." I didn't say anything, walked over to sit next to him, and just stared at him silently. Finally, he couldn't stand my gaze and confessed everything. It turned out that last time he went drinking with Mr. Chen said that his son liked me very much, extremely much, and begged him to help. When my dad heard this, he immediately got angry. How could I let my son be with another man? My dad slammed his hand on the table, full of righteous indignation. And then, Mr. Chen said, "If this works out, I won't compete with you for that piece of land anymore." So, I sacrificed the small for the big. "Of course, son." My dad took a deep breath and continued, "I still prioritize your thoughts. Didn't you say you like men? I'm also very democratic and don't care about carrying on the family line. Our family doesn't have a throne to inherit." My dad patted my shoulder and said, "As long as it's someone you like, I'll support you." Before I could be moved, I heard him say, "And Daniel is also a reliable person. I think you two should get to know each other. If it doesn't work out, you can find someone else. The most important thing is that piece of land. I really want it." "Oh." I replied indifferently and turned to go upstairs. My dad hurriedly called after me. Son, are you two really not going to get to know each other anymore? You guess. I whistled as I walked up, leaving my dad's distorted face behind me. After taking a shower, I sat on the bed and looked at Daniel's message. Just 3 words, I'm sorry. I leaned against the headboard and thought for a moment. Block. Block him immediately. I have to be a man of integrity. After blocking him, I threw my phone to the side, lay down, and imagined Daniel chasing after me like a good little puppy. Then I fell asleep soundly. Outtakes. The proposal. Daniel is a pervert. He pretends to be normal when we first meet, but over time, his true colors are revealed. I suddenly realized that Daniel really likes strange things at certain times, but recently, he hasn't been torturing me anymore. At first, I felt relieved and happily lived for a few days, but the more I thought about it, the more I felt that something was wrong. I even took out those things myself and tried to seduce him. But he just kissed me, gently took them off, and hugged me to sleep. He didn't have any reaction. This made me feel a little defeated, but I quickly figured it out. Because I happened to see the ring box he forgot to put away. When I found it, I no longer secretly observed him. Because I was also looking forward to seeing how Daniel would propose to me. That evening, Daniel messaged me. Let's go out for dinner tonight. I immediately became extremely excited. Will he propose? Will he propose? So I immediately dressed up handsomely. When Daniel came to pick me up, he even complimented me. You're so handsome, I want to strip you bare. Throughout the meal, I was waiting for a surprise, but nothing happened. Until we left the restaurant, I was vaguely pulled along by Daniel. I suddenly saw a crowd surrounding a spot. I heard people whispering that someone was proposing. Daniel insisted on pulling me over to watch. As soon as we walked in, the crowd automatically parted to both sides. In the middle was a heart made of yellow roses. I immediately looked around warily. I didn't see the main character. Could the main character be me? Daniel pulled me into the middle of the heart, took out the ring, and was about to kneel down. No way, is it really me? Someone save me. This is too cheesy, too embarrassing, don't come here. I despairingly closed my eyes and then immediately opened them, snatched the ring from his hand, and put it on myself. I agree. Clean up all this stuff, let's get out of here. He was stunned and was pulled away by me. After running 2 steps, he held me back. Wait, there's one more thing. What is it? Boom. Fireworks lit up behind me. I turned around and looked up. It was really beautiful. He leaned close to my ear and whispered, Alex, I love you. I smiled slightly. I love you too. A secret. It's almost Daniel's birthday. A very important event. Alex had to think carefully because it was Daniel's first birthday since they started dating. A car? He already had one. A house? He had that too. A watch? He had a whole collection. Alex's head was aching from thinking, but he still couldn't come up with anything. Finally, he decided to cover the room with roses. Although it was old-fashioned, it gave a sense of security. After all, this was the first birthday present he was giving his boyfriend. It was normal not to be able to choose the perfect gift. Alex comforted himself this way. That night, Daniel clung to him until late. As it was about to end, Alex gently pushed Daniel away. He then lightly bit Alex's collarbone. Alex was so sleepy that he was too lazy to move, letting Daniel hug him and turn him over and over. As he was about to fall asleep, he suddenly remembered something. Oh, right, Daniel. Is there anything you particularly like? Daniel rubbed his head into his hair, his voice lazy. You. I like you. Alex was surrounded by his warmth, so hot that he had to push him away a little. That's not what I mean. Oh, whatever. Besides me, is there anything else? No, it's late, go to sleep. With that, he reached out and hugged Alex tightly. Well, I guess I know what to get him for his birthday. Alex thought this, and then groggily fell asleep. The night before his birthday. To be the first to wish Daniel a happy birthday, Alex secretly drank a cup of strong coffee before going to bed. Then he stared at the clock. At exactly midnight, he immediately sat up, swung his arm, slapped the person next to him, and then gave him a strong kiss on the lips. Happy birthday, Daniel. Daniel opened his eyes, his face full of confusion. Alex finished speaking and then lay down to go back to sleep, and even patted Daniel next to him to coax him back to sleep. Daniel was dumbfounded, completely not understanding what had just happened. Early the next morning, Daniel got up very early. Alex was sleeping like a log because he had stayed up late. Daniel didn't wake him up and quietly left the house for the company. Throughout the day, he didn't receive any messages from Alex. Daniel felt a little unaccustomed to it and proactively sent a message. Alex only replied, "I'm busy." Busy with what? Preparing a surprise for me? Daniel was a little expectant. In the evening, Daniel didn't work overtime anymore. Youth is priceless. He drove straight home. As soon as he walked in the door, the dining table was full of food. Daniel went straight upstairs, opened the door, and saw Alex sitting with his back to him on the bed, busy with something. Hearing the door open, he immediately turned his head, hiding something behind his back. "Haha, you're back?" Alex pointed to the nightstand. "Here's your gift." Daniel walked over and opened it. It was a leather wallet with crooked stitching. It was obvious that it was homemade. Daniel immediately threw away his old wallet and replaced it with this one. He turned around, his voice gentle. "Then what about the one you're hiding behind your back? Is that my gift too?" Alex hesitated a little and then took it out. It was a pair of dog ears and a collar. The atmosphere in the room suddenly became hotter. Daniel bent down to kiss him. Alex dodged a little, his ears burning red, and he leaned back onto the bed. Daniel gently held his neck, leaned closer, and politely asked, "Is it okay today?" Alex felt that he had used up all the face he had in his entire life today. Hearing him say that, he was about to get up and curse, but Daniel covered his mouth, not giving him a chance to speak. In the end, Alex had no more strength to speak and could only bite his shoulder hard. Daniel didn't dodge, only laughed softly. A birthday is truly the best. "Alex, can every day be my birthday?"